I've been chilling. I'm just staying at home, doing a daddy thing, doing this Kickstarter to work on a children's album, so I can
All
stay home a little
right.
more and do that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always good. Yeah, I saw your response. I thought I said I love the intro, but not. No, no. I was using those 2 for 1. It was. I was seeing if the background music was okay at the
Hmm.
same time for the impasse. You know how copyright is. So.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
I know we're gonna get through this right now. I'm just doing the finishing touches on this. Where is those photos? That's okay. I'll throw them in later. That's all good. You know what? In fact, the bulk of it, I can do that from work. I literally can do this from work. All right. Well, like Spike Spiegel once said, turn my phone around. It's here now. 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? Cjack here, bringing you another random review. Right now, I got my boy Mega Ran. He's back in the studio. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. What's going on with you, CJ?
I've been good. And I haven't seen this guy since his interview in Combos and Crafts almost a year ago. I'll send you guys a link for that. So Mega Ran, what have you been up to? Like, what's new these days? What are you trying to get done? Oh, and congratulations on hitting 10,000 on what's the Spotify? What was it?
Kickstarter, I guess.
Kickstarter. Yeah, Kickstarter. Yeah, it was Kickstarter. I remember now.
Yeah, we are currently raising funds to make a children's album on Kickstarter, and really looking forward to doing that. That's going to be my big project this year. I used to be a teacher, so just being able to come up with new ways to reach kids and make some fun music in the process is really exciting. I'm recording every week, and I got some jams that, dare I say, they might slap even for kids and adults. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. This album's coming this year at some point, and so yeah, it's all about me taking this journey into parenthood and just wanting to make something for the cool parents out there.
I think it's good because your kid is gonna look back on this and be like, you know, my dad made an album, especially about me. I can dig this when he's old enough to appreciate it. And speaking of an albums and stuff, this proves I've been following you for a while now. That first of all, the late Kevin Conroy, that dedication beat you made, that was fire, by the way. I loved that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I've been I try to work on stuff for Patreon. I do 2 songs a month, so it's usually like whatever is happening in my world at that time. So the Kevin Conroy thing was huge, and still is. It's a huge loss to the community, man. And so it's the least I could do. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Least I could do is do something, man, because Batman animated series was my life, you know.
It was our childhood, right?
It was absolutely. So yeah, man. Me and my boy Grayson, we made a cool track. He's a big Nightwing Robin fan, and so yeah, man, we got down on it. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm gonna leave you guys a link to both of those actually in the description below. All right, so let's hop right into it. The reason why we're here. So, The Last of Us, the HBO series. First of all, did you play the game?
I have played the game. I have not beaten the game. And I did not play part 2.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I still have it. I might just go back. I think the show is really making me want to go back. But I got a lot of friends who are like, nah, you don't really want to do that right now. Like, it's difficult, it's long, it's it's a lot of stuff. So you might as well just enjoy it through the show, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing little parts because I'm only I got maybe 5, 6, 7 hours into it, and so I'm seeing a lot of things that I remember, and yeah, it's bringing me back to cool memories, you know. So I can imagine people who are like super obsessed and into this are probably just loving it, and like just even some of the imagery, like even if you know what's gonna happen, it's still they managed to touch you. Like we'll get into it, I'm sure, but man, like the emotion in this, like they set you up, you know exactly where it's going.
It's a dialogue, the passion of all, and I'm kind of glad you brought that up because first of all, the premiere was over an hour and 30 minutes, 20 minutes ish long, and it's if you weren't already engaged, you are now. Like, I'll bring these clips up for starters. For example, let me go ahead and bring this up. Okay. As he sips his tea. So it's 80% accurate, even down to the broken watch, like on episode 1. And actually, let
Right.
me pause this real quick. And it's just like verbatim, like the first game when they introduce you, like, his daughter wakes up, and finds out the whole world is in complete turmoil. And Sarah, that's right. And ironically, and she's going on with all this horror, like the neighbors are trying to eat each other, and Joel had to defend her, come off of work, barely getting to her in time. And let me hit you with this. So
Mm.
I didn't want to pull it up in here to be negative, but it's there. Unfortunately, even nerd geekdom, so to speak, has its backlash of bigots and ignorance. So how did you feel about people actually having a problem with his adopted daughter being black?
Oh my God. I didn't see any of that mess, but I
Hmm.
imagined as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, nerd's gonna be mad. But
Yeah.
like, how? How can you be mad? Like she kills this man. Shout out to
Hmm.
Nico Parker.
Hmm.
She's gosh, who's her mother is what's her name?
Oh, I can't think of it. I know you're talking
You
about
know the
Parker
ladies.
that helped me out. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Thandie Newton's daughter
Right.
and like an amazing actor.
Hmm.
So like she kills the role. Like that's what's most
Yes.
important to me. Is I don't care. Be blue, be red, be yellow.
Polka dot.
Just kill the role. Like, yo, you better come through. And she kills it. Like, I'm really sad that she's not around longer, to be honest. Like, I
No,
just
she
she's
did
an
it.
excellent character.
Yeah, she collected that check and kept on going. But
I mean, maybe, maybe we'll see her back in some flashbacks or something cool,
mhm.
but like it's she does a great job. Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Nah. And how did you feel like for example, they did these scenes right here, it was completely accurate to the game. Like, did you pick up on that? Did you recognize any of the scenes that was in the movie or in the premiere or
Yes, I did. Now, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong, just from the little bit I remember about the game. Doesn't his brother get killed in that moment, or do they kind of get separated early in the game?
they get separated and they find each other again in the game. In the game now, to my
Okay.
knowledge. Yeah.
All
Uh,
right. So he
uh,
doesn't get killed in the beginning either. Okay,
No,
good.
no, yeah, exactly. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong, let me serve me correctly. But yeah, in a nutshell, and that's where the 20% difference is. There's a few differences, like for example, you have trying to remember her name right here. I got the clip on it. Don't help me, Tess.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I think the person who was casted for Tess in this series, obviously her fate was sealed. But she's a little bit. I know that like 20 years went by since that scene happened after Joel lost her. Spoilers, by the way, a little late on that, but whoops. But yeah, if you look at the picture below and then look at a picture above, she is not as old as Joel. It's small instances like that get me. But hey, tomato, tomato. The point is, they killed it so far. So
Yeah.
anyway,
It's
yeah. So the series itself, so they break you in with the 1968, pretty much some guy's talk show about breaking. Even if you haven't watched it, played the game, what I loved about it is they literally, okay. In case you're ignorant, it's about this fungus. No zombie bites, no random Dawn of the Dead kind of stuff. Just wake up one day to zombies. There's a scientific fact here. And
mhm.
how did it affect you when you watched that? Like even in the first 3 minutes.
That was good. First, I was like, oh man, this stuff is like it's gonna be like mad boring. Like they're gonna kick a bunch of like scientifical terms that I don't understand. And then I was just like, oh man, like I love how they give it right to you, like right at the beginning. It's like that what was that movie? The Happening?
That happened, yes.
It's like that, but just
Marky
better.
Mark. That was one of my all-time
Yeah.
favorites. M. Night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that movie was awful. I did not like that movie, but it turned into like a comedy because it was just like a little out of control. But
He
I
was
love how they, I love how they set you up. Yo, I like when the arms got pulled off by the lions. It was like, rah, rah, rah. Anyway, nah. But I digress. I love that they give you really important points. They say, no, this fungus will reanimate you and
right.
make you move and do things that you can't even do. And so that's a perfect setup for when you meet the older lady who can't talk, barely can move, and next thing you know, she flip it and, and it's like,
Giving Spider-Man's lessons in agility. Right.
yeah, like it instantly, like they had to give you that to show you that because it's like, what? How did she,
Mhm.
So they clearly lay it out for you, which I love, And yeah, that set it up very well. I was
Very
like,
well.
oh, it's about to go down.
Yeah, and not to get ahead of it, so there was the 1968, the theory, obviously it became the fruition after 2003. Then fast forwarding into 2023, Boston's grown over. If you are out and about and you haven't become infected, it's a miracle of God, And I'll show the audience some clips right here where they had the signs like, if you got bit in the neck, you have 1 to 2 hours to live, you're done. If you got bit in the rib cage, you saw the FEDRA. You have no idea how hard I had to study that. The federal, the Federal Disaster Response Agency folks. If you bit in your foot, you got maybe 2 days to live, that kind of stuff, and it increments. So yeah, it was really detailed. It wasn't rushed either, because when you get into premiere with these games, I don't know if you have any game shows you watch like on Netflix or Hulu, they rush through that stuff. So what stood out to you on that?
No, I agree. I like that they gave you some time, and there's a lot of things you need to look at. Like they gave you that sign, but they didn't like put it on screen. It wasn't like a news broadcast. It was a sign that you had to stop and read. So I like that they're giving you information to put you like immerse you in this world without like just beating you over the head with it. So it feels very immersive. I mean, just as a guy who travels a bunch, just seeing Boston, like one of the most populous cities in the country, just a barren wasteland in 2023, like this year, So it's like, wow.
Right.
It's really wild to see, man. I got to talk about the effects and stuff, man.
Please.
Like,
that was my next one, actually.
Bruh, I was like, where did they shoot this at? Like, yo, the building's just halfway down, and man, but maybe it's special effects and stuff, but whatever, dude. Like, it looks incredibly great. Like everything in the game looks better than the game, which it's hard to compare.
That's creepy.
If I was going to compare, I think it looks better than the game.
You can see the foliage. Thank you. You can see the foliage on the buildings.
Yeah, everything's grown over. And me and my nerdy mind, I see like vines going through like cars and whatnot, and I'm like, imagine how long it has to sit there for life to just start to wrap around a car. You know what I mean? Like, this is like complete barren wasteland, and this is a populous U.S. city. Like, so they do a great job of just bringing you in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with both. It's like I Am Legend had a baby with Judge Dredd. We're talking about how they had the big super cities and Judge Dredd. But I Am Legend they did a good job, but it wasn't like this. The grown over part. New York. No, I agree with you.
Really great job. I don't know what the budget is on this show, but it's got to be intense. I mean, not to get in people's pockets, but Joel is making like what, $600,000 an episode.
They use his face anyway. He is Joel. So
yeah, he's Joel. So, and if it's one thing that he knows is protecting people as the Mandalorian. so I knew he would do a great job in this, but like the budget has to be insane. And like, shout out to HBO, because like HBO don't really miss when it comes to shows like series. They have a very, very top tier track record. I also like that them driving through the people when you showed that picture where I think it was, I don't know. Yeah, it was Joel.
I'll bring it back up. Yeah.
Who is Joel's literally our hero. And at that time, you know what Joel says?
Yeah.
He says, run them over. He's like, yo, run them over. Like, they're behind us too. They're behind us too. He's like, yo, I'm not playing with you. No, run them over. Like, I love that because it just shows you the desperation. And his daughter's in the back. So it's like,
you're a parent now. You get that. Like,
yeah,
if they have kids, so do I. It gives you perspective, Yeah.
And it's like, okay, when you're with your kid, you maybe don't want to show panic, to let because then the kid's going to panic. But he's just like, nah, F that. Like, this is serious. We got to get up out of here. Like, run them down. And that hit me. There's a couple scenes too. And then when they fast forward and they're kind of on like body duty and they're out there just like lifting bodies and throwing them in. And the girl's like, I can't do it. This is a kid. And Joel's like, hoop, 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 hoop. Like, whatever, man. Like, I do this, Like 20 years of this, it's like, hey, either them or me, you know?
Well,
So it really changes you. So you did you say Walking Dead when you mentioned all your comparisons? You said I Am Legend, Judge Dredd. You didn't say Walking Dead.
I was getting to that because I was getting to the clickers. Going now we're fast forwarding to episode 2, technically. So they meet up with I always forget her name. That's why I'm looking at my cheat sheet. I ain't gonna front. Don't help me on this. I need to. Okay. Well, Ellis.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The girl who actually has the immunity in her system.
It's Ellie, right?
Ellie. Wow, I can't even read my own notes. So I ain't gonna front. So with Ellie, I don't know. Okay, Cassie, let me get the horse before the carriage. So she didn't look like her to me, who they casted. I like the attitude. She had a mouth on her. She had a lot of spirit. I just don't see her physically playing the role. Now, I could be wrong. First of all, how do you feel about her being Ellie?
I like her.
Right.
She grows on me. I'd say by the second episode.
I give you that. It's taking me a minute, maybe longer.
She's a kid, so she's being smart, things like that. I like that.
Now, but not to steer from your question. I'm sorry. So so from Walking Dead, like they're just over here, they're just Walking Dead, right? And then the clickers or any of the fungi, there's different variations. With Walking Dead, you have you're a zombie. Either you're decomposing as we speak. It takes months for them to die off, just like Walking Dead. But the longer they live, the more their head sprouts into a goddamn mushroom. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. I saw a good a tweet that was like, this show is good, but it's not really realistic. It doesn't really reflect the 900 times that Joel dies trying to fight the first time. And then you want to return the game because you're angry.
It doesn't embodiment that rage quit that's in you.
Yeah.
You try to get through
because when you first get there, you're like, what? And then they kill you. So it's one thing to say, I really dig it, but like, this is why people were like, oh, you don't need to play the game. You need to just watch this, because there's the frustration of trying to figure out how to kill them.
Are you telling me, for the viewers? So are you telling me, and that's a good theory, that this series is a cheat code in case you want to play the game out of frustration and rage quit?
Yes, this is like in Sonic 2, they had the debug code where you could just literally float through the maze. And as a different figure, like that's basically what this is, because you don't have to be like, oh, go pick up those supplies and put them together. Oh, get some gauze and wrap it up here. Make a gun, make a shiv,
shiv.
Right. All these things are skipping. I was like, oh, they're still doing some fetch quests. It's like, oh, go get the battery. Oh, go meet him. I'll take her over there. Go pick up this. But at least you don't have to go through the several deaths that you will go through if you play this game.
Right. And you know what? You hit something on the head with its focus on the clickers, the fangs, I call them. So that scene tripped me out when they're on the roof. In episode 2 now, guys. In episode 2, they're looking down and she's like, what are they doing? And she's like, okay, they're communicating. And as soon as the sun moved, you saw them all turn around in unison. It was a trip. But remember, they were laying down on the ground. They were trying to avoid them.
That was wild.
Right? And then everything came full circle when they finally got to the rendezvous point. And then obviously one of the people died and the plants talked to each other. And you remember that? It was into the fingers, and then fast forwarding, and then they all got up, and it was like,
it's on. Yeah, that was crazy. It was good to see. Like, it was cool to see how these people how they're actually able to communicate. So that was insane. And I'm like, oh, it's going down. And then this part, if you play the game, even a couple of hours, what's about to happen. But yet, I can't praise Tess enough. She killed it. Like, I mean, I'm talking, you got to get her in the talks for supporting whatever for a freaking Golden Globe just from these 2 episodes.
I never thought I would win this award based upon a video game I've never played. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm sure she's British. Is she British? No, she's Australian, of course.
Yeah, Australian, of course. Yeah, I did my homework on her. So, but wait, real quick. Then she was like trying to light that match, and
Oh
then
God.
French kissed her with those things, and she still let it up.
I was like, oh no, she's not gonna actually blow it up. She's just gonna die like this. No. And then finally, at the oh man, just beautiful cinematography, just amazing.
Amazing. No, because I was like, okay, because when they have these I'm glad you said that. When they have these reboots, series like like Marvel. Marvel doesn't follow 100% of the comics. When they have these things, you read my mind. They possibly change. I was like, oh shoot, she's going to get infected and just leave or blow up. That's where my mind was going.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking that too. Like, are they just going to take a different direction here, or I was like, nah, she's gonna die, but is she gonna die like in vain, or is she actually gonna like help them like buy some time? So yeah, and they managed to make it even more heartfelt than the game, and the game itself on that part was very heartfelt.
Because she said to Joel, and I'm trying to quote this right, do some good. Save us, Joel. Save us. How can you say no to that? She was already screwed. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the girl's a walking vaccine. I mean, he's the only person left. She took one for the team, literally.
I feel like maybe the time was just moving pretty fast. Like, I don't know how much time elapsed between them starting the journey and then where Tess kind of ended. But everybody's thoughts and stance on old girl kind of changed pretty quickly, I thought.
I know because Joel, he gave her crap like first 4 chapters of the game. That was a quick ass 4 chapters supposedly in this. You gotta remember, they gotta cram all this stuff in 9 episodes. That's another factor, and I hate that.
That's true. Yeah, I wish they were going longer, but yeah, I understand they got to get places like to tell some story. But like, yeah, I just felt like it was like, oh, I don't believe her. Oh, I don't care about this. And then it was like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Okay. But I like Tess being like, maybe we can finally get some good luck. Like, yo, this could be it, But I like that he said, yo, we've seen this before. Like it's a cure. Oh, there's a vaccine. Oh, there's this. It's like, we've seen this before. What happens.
The guy lost his own kid. He's living in a world where it's just fuck it. Why hold on to hope? That's what makes you empathize with the protagonist.
Yeah, for real. Well, there's a quote in, was it Rogue One, where they said, what do they say? Rebellions are built on hope.
Built on hope. Yep, it's true. I mean, that's the foundation. So
you gotta have some hope.
Well, that's the first 2 episodes, folks. If we missed anything, share your thoughts and comments below. And Mega Rand, where's your wonderful? Are you doing any more touring in the meantime? Or
I'll be touring around. Yeah, catch my tour dates at megarand.com/shows. I'm all over the place. So let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about, what we maybe missed, or something that you might agree with. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Are we coming back? We're gonna be back for 3 and 4, right?
That would mean a lot to me if you want to. I told you, yeah. So what we're gonna do?
We can't just start this and not.
No, I appreciate it, and you see how fast it took. So what we're gonna do is decide in real time, folks. We're gonna go ahead and do 2 episodes at a time, once every 2 weeks. Sounds good to you? And just obviously your schedule's way more built on mine, and honestly, we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe 3 more episodes of this, and that should do it. You know what I'm saying? Recapping both episodes in the half-hour window and whatnot.
I'm down.
Let's do it. All right. No problem. Okay. Well, for both audiences, for Mega Rand and Cjack Productions, feel free to share, comment, subscribe. And by the way, while you guys are watching, that contest for that Hewlett Packard 2-in-1 laptop provided by my sponsors, Ryzen Electronics, is still going down. Check out my link below, also in the description for details. All right, man. Well, Mega Rand, until I guess we can do the next one. We'll talk about that. I'll leave you guys. I'll tell you what. I'll leave you guys some details when we do the next one, when the next couple episodes come up. All right. Peace.
All right. I'm out like Tess. Oh, too soon.